welcome back to my channel. We are running behind this morning. I wanted to leave my house at 4:45 because my sign-in is at 7, so that would give me like 2 hours 15 minutes, a little bit of wiggle room to get to the airport, but I didn't leave my house till 5, so I still have 2 hours, which is pretty good. I mean, it's early, so I don't think I'll have any issues, but if I do have any issues, we're going to be pushing it to get to the airport on time today. And I normally don't do these early sign-ins. Like, when I'm on a line, my sign-ins are all like 8:30 or later because I know myself and I know getting up before 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, so today I had to get up at 3:45. And getting up that early is just not a good thing for me. So I usually don't do those. But this trip changed. Like, when they gave it to me last month on my line schedule, it was originally a Philly layover tonight and then an Orlando layover tomorrow. Well, then the Philly part canceled, so the flight to Philly tonight and then our flight out of Philly to Orlando tomorrow canceled. So now it's just a 33-hour Orlando, and I was waiting for them to add in some random like turn or something the second day, but they never did. So we just have 33 hours in Orlando, and I was like, oh, that's an awesome trip. Like, I'm gonna keep it. This morning I was like, why did I keep this trip? But we're gonna have fun in Orlando, guys. We're gonna have fun. It's just the morning part that's rough. But I didn't even fix my hair. Like, I haven't even fixed my hair yet. I'm just gonna have to pull it back when I get to the airport. I just needed to get in the car and go because I was like looking at the clock like, oh gosh, if I don't leave now, it's gonna be bad. But for now, we're gonna drink our coffee, try to wake up a little bit, even though I actually feel like okay now. But long day today, guys. But we could do it. So this is the new part of the Charlotte airport that they have been working on the last, I don't know how long, but they finally opened up this part of it, so that's cool. One down, one more to go. We are going back to Charlotte, and then we are going to Orlando, but we're deadheading, so we're not going to have to work it. So just one more leg, guys. And then we're all finished for the day. That flight was crazy. So we land in Orlando, and as soon as we land, like, we get off the runway and then lightning starts like hitting. So they have to shut down the ramp. And the ramp has to stay shut down. So like when lightning strikes, it's 15 minutes, and then if lightning doesn't strike again within, it's like for most airports 3 to 5 miles, then they'll reopen the ramp. But if it keeps striking, then they have to keep redoing the 15 minutes. You guys, we sat on that tarmac for 2 hours. 2 hours we sat there waiting for the storm to pass. We were literally at the airport. We were so close and had to just sit there. We could not move for 2 hours. Which, that's not the first time that's happened to me. That happened to me in Charleston when I like first started flying. I was still DC based, so this was within my first like 6 months of flying. We landed in Charleston and storms hit, and I was actually on the tarmac for 3.5 hours, so it wasn't nearly as bad as that experience. But yeah, that was a lot, especially since I've been up since 3:45 a.m. I was like dying. I'm so tired right now. I've been up it's 10 o'clock right now, so I've been up for over 18 hours already, if I did my math correctly just now. But anyways, after the flight, I'm calling the shuttle to see like where we go to get picked up, and so I call the shuttle service and I'm like, hey, this is my flight number. We were just wondering where we go to get picked up to go to the hotel. And the woman was like, oh, we don't have your flight number on here. Are you sure like this is the right shuttle service? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, you're gonna have to call your hotel and limo people and get them to work it out because we don't have you like booked. So I'm like, oh my gosh, great. So then we have to call the hotel and limo people, and we called them and they're like, no, we've got it booked on our end, so I don't know why they can't see it. And it's just like all this back and forth, like, oh, they need to fix this and they need to fix it. I mean, it was a whole mess. So we dealt with that for like 20 minutes. So then we finally get that all figured out, and they're like, okay, it'll be another like 5-10 minutes and they'll be there to pick you up. And So we're waiting there. It's been like 15 minutes and we're like, okay, this is kind of weird. So I call the shuttle people back and I'm like, hey, we're here. We've been out here for like 15 minutes. What's going on? And it turns out we were in the wrong location, which when I called her the first time, she told me to go to the express pickup. And so that's where we went, but we went to the A side instead of the B side. So we had to go all the way back over to the B side. But we finally made it to the hotel, guys. We are done with day one, thank goodness. But I need to get in the bed because I have a big day planned for tomorrow that I am super duper stoked about. Which, it's funny because I wasn't like stoked about it until after I bought the tickets, but we're going to Epcot tomorrow. And I haven't done Epcot in like 12 years. Like the last time I went to Epcot, I was in high school. So I know it's changed a lot since I've been, and I really don't remember a whole lot about it. So I'm like super excited to be able to go and do it tomorrow and show you guys too. But we're gonna be getting up early. So the park opens at 8:30. I'm probably gonna try to get there around 8. Because they are calling for thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon too. So just in case something crazy happens and they end up having to close the whole park down, like for the last half of the day, then I wanna make sure I get as much in as I can. But I also want to get up early because the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride is there, and so you have to like get into a virtual queue in order to ride it. And so there's one at 7 and then there's one at like 1. But a lot of people say if you don't get in the one at 7, then it's hard for you to ride it in the afternoon because, you know, if the ride breaks down, then that pushes everybody back, or if there's weather and it has to shut down, that pushes everybody back. So I'm gonna wake up at like 6:45 and try to get into that queue and then probably get ready and then head down there and spend the whole day at Epcot. But as of right now, it's just gonna be a solo outing. But one of my crew members is like debating on whether or not she wants to go. The ticket prices are pretty expensive. It was $130 for me to get into the park, and I'm gonna be spending even more money on like food and drinks and all that good stuff. So we love that. But yeah, so I'm trying to convince her to come meet me out because her boyfriend's flying out tomorrow too. So I'm trying to convince them to both like come hang out with me for the second half of the day. So we'll see if that happens. But for now, I need to get to bed so that we can be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for our Epcot experience tomorrow. So good night, guys, and I will see you in the morning for day number 2. Shout out to Josh, who was working the front desk last night, because he hooked us up. He gave us all these extra vouchers. There's a shuttle service that we can use since we're airline employees to take us like places, and it's supposed to be within a 3-mile radius. But the guy was like, I'm gonna give you all these extra vouchers and then you can use them to basically get free transportation to and from Epcot, like, and not have to go through Disney Springs. So we love that. Thank you, Josh. That was so kind. So we have the shuttle service set up. They should be here in the next like 5-10 minutes. So we're gonna meet downstairs, wait for them to come here. My crew member ended up texting me last night that the flights just looked too bad and her boyfriend wasn't gonna be able to make it. So she was like, I'm down to go to Epcot with you for the day. So we love that. I have a friend to explore Epcot with, and she's never been to Disney World, so that's exciting. I'll get to like watch her experience it for the first time. So she's been to Disneyland, so she has had Disney experience, but I don't know, I feel like Disney World is so different from Disneyland. But yeah, let's go catch the shuttle and start our Epcot adventure. We made it!
Because tonight, Chef Kabuki is preparing one of his specialties, which I am certain you will enjoy.
Here's our little mouse. All right, first snack of the day. We went to get some crepes in France. Yummy! Here we got our first drink of Epcot. It is the AULANI Sunrise. I got it from the little Hawaii booth over there. I'm not sure if that's normally here or if that's just here for the food and wine festival they've got going on. But we'll see. It's very refreshing.
That's jellyfish!
You're good.
Oh, there he goes back in. This one's just stressed out, so I'm in circles and circles. Here he comes, doing his lap again.
In wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. Mention farming. You probably don't think of fish, but fish farming, or aquaculture, accounts for nearly half of all the seafood consumed globally. Tilapia, bass, and catfish, like the ones you see here, are 3 of the more popular crops raised by fish farmers. The sustainable system we're using here recycles the water in the tanks. As a result, we're able to save millions of gallons each.
We just got called for our Guardians of the Galaxy ride, so we're about to head that way, but we stopped in Mexico first, got a margarita and some empanadas. So we're gonna eat those and drink this while we head that way.
This is none other than Drax the Destroyer.
All right, we just got off, look at my hair. We just got off the Guardians coaster. I absolutely loved that ride. What do you think? Oh, it was so good. It was like a better version of Space Mountain. It was so good. Our first character sighting, there's Donald Duck. We have made it to China. And here's Mulan. Alright, we are now in Japan. I got a Blackberry sake shaved ice. It's Mary Poppins! Look, they're making Mickey Mouse. Oh, it goes over? Right, we went to the Apple Orchard. I got an apple cider drink, and Victoria got an apple fritter. Is that right? Oh, apple tart. So we came to a little orchard back behind all the little worlds. All right, another treat we got today is the Guava Mousse from this little Shimmering Sips place. But this right here is really good. Like, never tasted anything like it before in my life. Also, this little apple drink I'm obsessed with. It's like fall in a cup. I love it. All right, the last thing we're ordering today, at least I think it's the last thing, is these Adobo Yuca Fries. Or Yuca Fries. Then we're gonna go ride Test Track, and then, which is right over there. And then I think we're gonna be done with our Epcot experience. Stop it. So we ended up staying for the fireworks show. I had to mute the music because it's Disney music, so I would have gotten in trouble for copyright. But it's really neat. They use lasers, water, fireworks, and the laser and water stuff goes with the music. So it's really, really cool. This was the finale, so it's really big, but super duper neat. Bye, Epcot! It is 10 o'clock. We just got back to the hotel. My alarm for work is going to be going off in 4 hours. So love that for me. Yeah, our van is at 3:20 in the morning, so I always set my alarm an hour before van to give myself time to get ready. And yeah, so that's gonna be fun tomorrow. But I need to get in the shower because I am the amount of sweat that came out of my body today is just really unpleasant. We don't even want to think about it. Like, there were 2 hours in the day today where it was just like miserably hot, so hot. Like, we debated on whether or not to leave because it was literally so hot outside, but then we were like, let's just stay, let's push through. And then we had pretty much done everything by 7:30, so we were like, should we just leave so we can get a little bit extra sleep? But I was like, honestly, I'm probably not gonna be able to fall asleep early anyways, and I kind of want to see the firework laser show, so we decided to stay, which I'm glad we did. I think my crew member was glad too, but I'm glad we stayed for that. But you know, you only live once, life is short, you gotta make the most of it, and we did exactly that today. We were at Epcot for literally 13 hours, so we got there at 8:30 and left at 9:30. So long day. I'm probably gonna be sore from all the walking. I think it said I walked 10.5 miles today. It was like 24,000 steps. I don't even remember all my little things, but yeah, I need to get in the shower. I need to get as much sleep as possible in these next like 4 hours. So good night, guys. I hope you enjoyed my little day at Epcot, and I will see you in the morning for go home day number 3. I figured I'd show you the uniform really quick before I go catch the banks. I didn't show you guys in my last video. We're wearing the crosshatch shirt, the skirt, nude tights, and heels. I decided to sleep for 25 extra minutes and forego makeup this morning because I was so tired. So yeah, also I got a new phone case. But let's go home, guys. 2 down, 1 to go. But it's always the last leg. We have maintenance. There's like something wrong with the tire. Our first officer was showing us pictures of it. It's like the tread is gone or something on it. I don't know, but yeah. And we just found out it's gonna be an hour and a half at least before they can fix it. So that is very upsetting. But I'm going to be eating my barbecue sandwich at 9:40 in the morning. Normal flight attendant things here. And I don't know, maybe I'll take a nap if we've got all this time now. Like, what? So we went illegal. So our 3-day has now turned into a 4-day. We are staying the night in Tampa because the maintenance issue we had. So at first it was just the tire. And then when they were fixing the tire, they realized that whenever that piece of the tire came off, it hit 3 spots on the wing. And one of the parts was the hydraulics. And so they needed to like check that out before we could go. And that was just taking a lot of time. So we ended up getting delayed till noon. We were originally supposed to leave at 10. Then it got pushed back again to 2. And really that pushback time was really a decision time, not so much like we're gonna be leaving at 2. And we needed to close the aircraft door at 2:02 in order to like be able to finish out the trip legally. And that just wasn't gonna happen. So crew scheduling called us, asked if we wanted to extend or if we wanted to be done, and we said we wanted to be done. So because the problem with extending is I think they can extend you up to 18 hours, so we could have been there like literally all day. And yeah, so we were like, no, we're tired, we need to go to the hotel. So we're laying over in Tampa. Here's my view of the boats and the water. I am about to change into a bathing suit and go to the pool and hang out. I think some of the rest of the crew is gonna go to the pool, and then we're all gonna go get dinner tonight around 5:30. And then tomorrow morning we're just deadheading back to Charlotte. So yeah, what a day. You guys, I slept through my alarm this morning for my deadhead. So I got to the airport as quick as I could, but I missed the flight. So now I have to wait for the 12 o'clock flight, which is in like 3 hours. I have never done that before. In my 4 years, I've never overslept with an alarm. And thank goodness it was just a deadhead and not like a flight we were actually working. But yeah. So I will be catching the 12 p.m. flight. We're getting home at some point today. But I cannot believe I did that. Like literally never in my life as a flight attendant have I ever overslept with an alarm. And everyone jokes like you're either the person who's done it or the person who hasn't done it. So I guess this is my moment where I missed the van and missed the flight, unfortunately. I was like probably like 5 minutes away from getting on, but when I got like, it took me so long to get through everything because since I wasn't dropped off like where the normal like shuttle vans drop us off, I had to go through the train, and that took forever because you have to scan your boarding pass, and like mine wasn't scanning. And then I finally got through that. Then I go to KCM, there's not anybody there. So if that kind of stuff would have worked out, I honestly probably would have made the flight. But yeah, but now I'm like, maybe I should have just stayed at the hotel and slept a little longer instead of sitting here. But it's okay. We're gonna get home at some point, but then we gotta do this all over a whole another 4 days starting tomorrow. I put it up to drop because that's just a lot of flying, but we'll see what happens. Guys, I am still like shook to the core that I did that this morning. Like, I have never come close to being like late like that for the van, like, and I overslept the van time by 30 minutes, which is just, oh my gosh. And like other flight attendants had told me about their horror stories and like them sleeping past the van time and like, you know, whatever. And it really is like the worst feeling ever because you wake up and you're just in a panic. You're like trying to pack everything, you're trying to get dressed, you're just trying to do everything to get to the airport as quickly as possible. I ended up leaving my green water bottle, so RIP. I knew I would part ways with it at some point. So I left that. I don't know if I left it in my Uber or if I left it in the room. And then I also left my, I have this little like bag that I put ice in. It's like used for headaches, but I use it in my cooler bag to keep my food cold. And I left that. So hopefully those are the only two things I left. I haven't even looked at my bag because I know it's like chaotic. And I need to like, I'm just hoping that I put everything in there. I know I have all my major stuff like my iPad and my wallet and my keys and like all that good stuff. But yeah, I am so thankful that we were not working that flight because they would have had to delay it for me and everybody would have hated me because everybody would have been like missing their connections. So thank goodness it was just a deadhead and that it was only one deadhead and then we were done, because if they were gonna like deadhead us and then we'd have to work, like they would have had to probably use a reserve. Like, oh my gosh, like it could have been so much worse than it actually was. And thank goodness that I was actually able to get on like the next flight because everything out of Tampa to Charlotte was like full. And so since I missed my deadhead, like when I have a deadhead, like when they assign it to you, you get a confirmed seat. But since I missed that one, I had to be listed as a revenue standby. And at first the guy didn't think he would be able to give me the jump seat since I was listed as a revenue standby. Look, my like scarf is not even tied on right. I did this like in a hurry this morning. But he was like, I don't think I can give you the jump seat because you're not listed as a jump seater. And I'm like, I literally can jump seat. I'm in the uniform. Like, just get me on this plane. I need to get home. So I'm just glad that that all worked out. My trip for tomorrow has not dropped yet. It probably won't drop. So I'll probably be working tomorrow. But yeah. What a trip, guys. there was a lot going on for this one. And I hope that that is the only time I ever do that in my career as a flight attendant. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I will post all of the stuff I like ate and drank at Disney. When I went to Epcot, a lot of people will go and do like the drink around the world. There's 11 countries. I did not drink around the world because it was way too hot, and that just did not seem like a good idea to me. And like, it's better to probably do with a group where you guys can split drinks instead of trying to do it all on your own. But I will put the ones that I tried in the video. I mean, in the like info part or whatever, description. But yeah, thanks for coming along on my Disney layover that turned into a Tampa layover that turned into chaos today. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, any questions, comments, whatever, you can put them in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!